Welcome to China Horse Business, the one and only podcast focusing on the booming Chinese equine market. Bringing to you by two experts of Chinese equine industry, Zoe King and Wen Li, from Shanghai and Beijing, introducing China to the world. Hello, Wen. How's everything going for you?
I'm good. After Chinese New Year, everything is back on track again. Many races around the world are reactivating their new seasons.
How exciting! I know in Hong Kong, everyone is talking about which horse will take part in the upcoming Dubai World Cup.
The Hong Kong racing is embracing the world. This is huge.
Totally. On the other hand, Euro races are preparing for the new season. We'll bring you more news in this podcast.
For sure. Well, in today's China News session, let's go to Shanghai for the very first equestrian competition of the year.
From 3 to 7 of February, the 5 days equestrian events were held in Shanghai Quanjing Equestrian Club. We've introduced this club in the Season 1, Episode 1, back to 2019. That means we have this club on the eye way back there.
Quanjing Equestrian Club organized the first edition of Yangtze Delta Area competition in 2021 in partnership with the Jazz Event, which is the local organizer of Global Champions Tour Shanghai stage.
This time, the second edition of Yangtze Delta Area competition was part of the 5-day event alongside the Road to the Bird's Nest, Taicang Grand Prix, and Taicang Dressage Open. All 4 titles of competitions joined together, attracting over 300 horses, 1,000 horse rider combinations across the country.
The organizer did not put a spotlight on the total prize money of the event, but the possible outcome of the winning score for the Road to Bird's Nest, which means the Beijing Master. Taking place in the Bird's Nest China National Stadium, this event is an important jump for many Chinese riders. It should be back to the stadium this year in September after a 3-year interruption.
Looking forward to it. Now, let's travel to Jilin in the north of China and visit an equestrian club named Jingang in today's China Club session.
Jilin Jingang Equestrian Club is located in a natural spot in Changchun, the capital city of Jilin province. The club covers a surface of 13,000 square meters. They have over 100 horses in stable and around 20 coaches.
In 2019, the club is proudly certificated by French Equestrian Federation. They implement the gallop system in their coaching and exam.
The gallop system is flourishing in China. In today's China Story session, we talk to a French lady who is involved in China's equestrian industry. Let's see how she understands the secret of this success in China.
Hello, Helene. How are you doing?
Hi, Zoe. Long time no see. I'm well. Thank you. Wow. What about you?
I'm doing good. Helene, I knew you for many, many years, and I know you are one of the first equestrian professionals working in China. So let's go back to the beginning. What brought you to China, and how did you get involved in the equestrian sports in China?
Yeah, well, it's a long story. The first time I came to China was in 1997. I was studying Chinese at high school, and our teacher organized a student exchange in Beijing. So I had the incredible opportunity when I was 15 to come to China and live within a Beijing family for 2 weeks. And this made a great impact on my life. And when I was 18 and decided what to do as my direction of studies, I chose Chinese. So I learned Chinese full-time for 3 years. And after 3 years, I came to Beijing again. That was in 2002. I was supposed to stay 1 year with a scholarship, but life decided another way. It's been 20 years now.
Yeah, 20 years.
Yes. So when I first came in 2002, it was just to improve my Chinese and go back to France as a Chinese teacher. But when I realized the energy and the potential that existed in China at that time, I couldn't go back. I decided to stay longer and longer and longer. In the middle, I decided to go back for 3 years to follow the very famous French business school called ESSEC in France. And after finishing my studies, I came back again to China, and I was involved in major international cultural events, like, the famous French Croisement Festival. Finally, in 2014, I was involved in the organization of the Longma Horse Dragon Show. And that could be the beginning of my life with equestrian industry in China. After this show, I had the incredible opportunity to visit a couple of French equestrian professionals in Beijing through a friend who was a journalist. And he told me, well, Helene, you've been riding horses since you were a kid. I know your passion. I know your regret not to be involved with horses. And now I'm going to visit two professionals. Would you like to go with me? I said, great. And those two persons are still in China, and they are called Joël and Vanessa Vandevray. And I met with them, and very soon we became friends, and I started just to help them. At that time, I had some time to help them with translation and so on. That was the beginning of my life in equestrian business in China. After a while, we commonly decided that it would be better that we should work together. And that's how I started to work in the equine industry in China. So I became in charge of the commercial development of the club they were working in. That club is called Huijia. Huijia is the name of an international school in China, in Beijing. This school has its own horse riding club. So we worked very happily together for more than 2 years. And when the development was quite mature, we decided to go to work for another club together called Oriental Equestrian Club. And in Oriental Equestrian Club, we work together to make it more professional and develop it as it should be. And we worked very happily for 3 years.
Fantastic. Amazing story. 20 years in China and so many years involved in the equine sport. So what's your new activities now? So
my new activity now, I will say it quite shortly. In 2021, I was, after being stuck in France because of some COVID issues, at that time, it was very hard to get back to China. So I had a lot of time to think and to prepare what I should do for the next step. And it came quite naturally that I should create a company to be able to help more equestrian businesses in China. And that was the birth of our company called Didu Consulting. So what we do, I think horse riding is much more than a sport. It can bring to people so much value beyond the only practice of a sportive activity. And the idea of Didu Consulting, its mission is to create economic, social, and psychological well-being using the specificities of horses. We focuses on 2 business lines. So first is strategic consulting for Chinese equestrian structures, providing sustainable and profitable business solutions, combining our technical know-how, our market knowledge, and horse welfare. Basically, it means that we provide consulting to horse riding businesses in China to help them to become more efficient, more profitable by using the French knowledge in this field. Our second activity is partnering with horse riding industry members to co-create innovative horse riding programs and horse-related well-being activities for individuals and companies.
I have a long conversation and great talk with Helene. The rest of the interview will be released soon in the upcoming episodes. Stay tuned.
It was very insightful. Now, China has reopened its doors to foreigners. We can see more international exchanges about to rebound in China.
Totally. Guys, if you have planned to come to China this year for your business or your personal career development, please let us know.
You can reach us by dropping us an email at contact@wonder-host.com.
Cool. Let's chat again next Tuesday.
All right, take care.
This podcast is co-hosted by Zoe King and Wen Li, powered by Wonder Horse, a business solution provider focusing on Chinese equine market and a bespoke equestrian community in China.